If not, Shashwat is making this very clear, then we're going to move country, move subject, and boy, this looks excellent. And I'm sure that Amit can uh, tell us much more about it. Amit, go ahead. We're curious.
Yes, I will start my screen share. Good evening. Uh, this small presentation, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fine, I'll start again. Yeah, so this small presentation is on the coinage of state of Junagadh. I wouldn't say state because I start a little before that. The Islamic dynasties that ruled over the area, which is the only known abode today of the Asiatic lands, Junagadh, which by the end of the 15th century was known more by the name Girnar rather than Junagadh. So this area, Girnar, was taken over by the Gujarat Sultan Mahmud II, also known as Mahmud Begdo. Begdo means it was an epithet used because he had been able to conquer the two major forts which were almost impregnable in those days, Champaner and Junagadh. Once he took over the fort of in Girnar, he established a place called Mustafabad and set up a mint there, which soon became one of the biggest mints of the Gujarat Sultans. Now, the coins minted in this mint were basically a little different in weight. I am not able to understand why, but they had a different weight standard than was used in the other places of the empire. Goran Goenka book mentions the coins available in different weights as different standards. It is possible, but I believe that this mints issued different because there were 3 or 4 mints in the whole state. So they issued these coins of different varying weight standards because they were used across different places of the state. Now, the history of the mint at Junagadh. As I said, it was established by Mahmud Shah I of the Gujarat Sultans in 877, that is 1472 AD. And it is likely that this mint continued operating for about 50 years because basically we find the coins issued only in the name of Mahmud Shah I. And then we have coins in the name of his successor, Muzaffar II. After that, no coins have come to light. And so it is presumed that the mint was either discontinued or lost its importance. Then around 969, we have coins issued in the name of Amin Khan Ghori. Now, Amin Khan Ghori's father, Tatar Khan, was the last governor of Junagadh who owed his allegiance to the Gujarat Sultans. But at the end of his career, he had become semi-independent or almost independent of the Gujarat Sultans. And his son, when he assumed the throne, it was in 969, seems to have issued coins maybe to commemorate his coronation. Thereafter, the area was in turmoil, and Akbar invaded Gujarat sometime in 980. That was when probably the ruler, after his defeat, had been forced to issue coins in the name of Akbar. Though the mint name is not seen on these coins, it is almost clear that these were the coins of Junagadh because they follow the weight standard and the legends. And in some cases, even it appears that the old dies of Junagadh of Mahmud I have been used. Again, after Akbar, the mint seems to have been inactive till in 1048, that 1640 AD, Shah Jahan ordered the mint to be established there to convert the local Mahmudi currency, or the Koris as they called them, into the Mughal standard rupees. So 5.5, 5.8 gram coins or the Koris of 4.8 grams were all melted down, and the rupees at 11.5 or 11.6 grams started being issued. This was in the time of Shah Jahan. As it appears that the mint was mainly because there was another mint, Khambat not very far, Ahmedabad not very far, and Kutch and those areas were independent. This mint at Junagadh does not seem to have worked very regularly or produced coins in large quantities, though there are coins in the name of almost all the emperors. The Mughal emperors still, the coins of Mahmud Shah RY7. Late in the reign of Mahmud Shah, around I think it is the 29th year of reign of Mahmud Shah, that the Babis, who were at that time the governors of the fort of Junagadh on behalf of the Mughals, became independent and started their own dynasty, the BABI Nawabs. So here are the coins of Mahmud Shah I. These are pretty well known, and I will not go too deep into these. The silver coins, which are at the top, the two coins on the right and the left, are the 5.5 gram, what are called as the half faloo, the half. I forget this thing, but they're 5.5 gram coins. The bottom left coin is the Bilan coin, and the coin on the bottom right is a copper coin. Muzaffar Shah II, we see the Bilans disappear. On the top are the two silver coins. At the bottom are the two copper coins. During this reign, at least I have not come across any gold coin having been issued from this mint. These next coins are, as I said, the coins of Amin Khan Ghori. These coins were first deciphered by Professor Kishore Chandra Pathak, and these are found in copper and in silver with the legend Shri Ami on them. The date clearly 969. So these are the coins. You can see the date 969 very clear at around 2 o'clock on the coin on the left, or in the center on the right. Of course, that is because of the shifting of the minting point rather than the change in place of the date. The silver coin very clearly shows the legend as Shri Ami. Now, there are certain auctioneers in India who do not agree with this, and they attribute these coins to Navanagar, saying that these are the coins of Ajoji Sataji, the son of Sataji, who was the ruler. But I do not agree with that attribution. Basically, these are the coins issued at the time of the coronation of Amin Khan Ghori, and the weight standard is also what was used there, either a falus and the copper falus and 1.5 falus, or the silver kori, which was the standard used in the area at that time. Now, these coins, as I said, are not listed in any publication, and were first very recently, I think a few years ago, listed by, and still have not found any place in any of the major catalogs. These are the coins in the name of Akbar. The legend Akbar Badshah al-Sultan, and on the reverse al-Sultan al-Azam Nasirud-Dunya wa al-Din Abul Fath. The reverse legend remains the same as was what we see in the coins of Mahmud I, as you can see here. There are two, the coin on the top is Mahmud Shah, and the one at the bottom is Akbar. What I have circled in red is basically the same legend on the reverse, and on the obverse you can clearly see Mahmud Shah al-Sultan and Akbar Badshah al-Sultan. The weight standard followed is the same. Many of these coins are observed with the date 911, which was the date that you see on the coins of Mahmud Shah on the reverse. Akbar's coin bear 911 and also 981. So probably in a hurry, they used the old dies or they engraved it from a copy of the old die and kept the date same till they realized their mistake and corrected it to 981. These are the coins. We start with the full Mughal rupee coins, the mint being established under the directions of Shah Jahan. The first coins commenced in 1048. There is a lot of variation in these coins, in the placement of the mint, the way the mint is written, and the dates are placed, though not much in the legends. Now, another surprising point is that the coins of Shah Jahan continue right up to 1071. He was deposed in 1068, and Aurangzeb formally coronated in 1069. In spite of that, 2 years beyond that date, we find that there were no coins issued in the name of either the previous ruler or Aurangzeb till 1071. So this is a posthumous issue, though it does not have any RY on it. This is the first coin issued of Aurangzeb, which shows the date 1071 RY3. This is a square area type of coin. I mean, the central legends are in a square on both the obverse and the reverse. Sometime in the middle of Aurangzeb's reign, the standard of these coins was changed to the coins which were the standard format of the coins of the empire. The one which has the legend on the obverse in 3 or 4 lines. The only known gold coins of Junagadh seem to have been minted during the reign of Aurangzeb, and I have not come across any instance of a gold coin of any other ruler being known. Azam Shah was a very short time ruler, but coins of his reign are also minted from Junagadh, extremely rare to find. Coins of Shah Alam Bahadur, coins of Jahandar Shah. These are standard rupees, so I am not going too deep to describe them. Farooq Shir, Rafi Uddarjat, again fairly difficult to find coin. Shahjahan II, and Mahmud Shah. Now, coins of Mahmud Shah are known only up to RY7, that is 1137 or 1138. Most coins do not show a date. So it's very difficult to say which is the last coin that is, I mean, the last year in which it was minted, but it was in his RY7. I have not come across coins beyond that date. So at this time, the local diwan or the local nawab of, not the diwan or the governor of Junagadh on behalf of the Mughals had started acting independent of the Mughal emperor's powers and started collecting the taxes and not remitting them to Delhi. Same was the condition in neighboring Khambat or Cambay as it is known. And both of these states seem to have become fairly independent around this time. Cambay or Khambat a little later. Junagadh no coins are known beyond RY7 or 8, as I said. Now, at the end of Muhammad Shah's reign, though these coins are never recorded, sorry, I missed this one, that there is a mohar of Muhammad Shah that was listed in Todiwala auctions, though the mint name is almost off the flan. I have put it here basically just because it was there, though even the experts have been unable to confirm whether this could be or could not be of Junagadh. In my opinion, it is not of Junagadh, since the mark in the scene of the Julus, a little part of it is seen, looks more like something Surat or maybe some southern mint. And the only known copper coin of the Mughal Empire, also minted during this reign, is a coin of Junagadh in the name of Muhammad Shah. Recently, coins have been known again with the reign, I mean the dates as 1132. So early in the reign of Muhammad Shah, this coin was minted. After that, there is no Mughal copper. I mean, before that, there is no known Mughal coin. Now, the princely state of Junagadh, the list of Nawabs, it starts in 1748 and ends sometime in 1949. So roughly around a period of 200 years. When in 1748, Muhammad Bahadur Khan Babi, or Sher Khan Babi as he was known, had become independent and had taken over the administration or the collection of revenue in his own name rather than remitting it to Ahmedabad and to Delhi. Now, to confirm this coin was listed some years ago. I think it's more than 10-15 years ago, went unnoticed. It's a coin of Muhammad Shah dated RY29. Now, RY29, this is the only silver coin that image also that I have been able to find of this date. Now, RY29 would correspond almost to the end of Muhammad Shah's reign, and that is the period around 1748 when Sher Khan Babi had become independent. And I presume that this coin was issued at the time of his coronation or as is declaring his independence, because that was one of the main features. I mean, when a ruler became independent or he came to the throne, issuing a coin showed that he was independent. Of course, in the Indian context, most coins were issued in the name of the Mughal emperors, as most of these rulers owed their allegiance to the Mughal emperors, maybe only in name. But even the Marathas, who were sworn enemies of the Mughals, at least in the earlier days, also issued their coins in the name of the Mughal emperors. Now, to confirm this, I recently found in my own collection a copper coin also of the same date, that is RY29. This is a paisa weight coin of 13 grams. Now, interestingly, what I found also was that the reverse die of both the silver and the copper coin seem to be the same die. They are die identical if you can compare the two coins, which would be confirming that these were issued in very small quantities. Also confirmed by the fact that it's almost impossible to find these coins. Sorry. So Sher Khan Babi coins or Bahadur Khan 1. Now these are the coins which are not listed again in any catalog or any book. The next ruler, Mahmud Khan 1. He came to the throne in 1758 and in 2 years was overthrown, and he was reinstated in 1762. So it is probable that when he was reinstated, he issued coins in his own name. And these are the normal Muzaffar Shah copper coins that were circulating in that area at that time, the same weight standard as is used in Nawanagar and in Kutch, the Dokdo and the Dinglo. The Dingla of 13 and 12, normally Dinglas are 12.5 grams plus, and the Dokdas between 8 and 10 grams. So Muzaffar Shah legend in Persian with Muhammad Ji, very clear. Till now, these coins were known only by the Dinglas known, but very recently, Todiwala auctions had also put up a Dokda for auction. So both the Dokda and the Dingla are known. No Tramya or any silver coins have surfaced till now, though I would not be surprised if maybe somewhere down the line these coins also do surface. Then we have Hamid Khan I, the next ruler. Now, these coins are listed for years, and the British historians and numismatics had these coins show the legend as Shri Diwan in Nagri. Now, Diwan basically is the title of the rulers of Junagadh, because that was the title given to the founder of this dynasty, Sher Khan Babi, by the Mughal emperor. So when he assumed the throne, he also assumed the same title of Diwan. The British historians have taken it that these coins were introduced by his governor, Amarji Diwan, because his name was Diwan, that Amarji issued these coins in his own name. Now, I believe that would be naive for anybody to believe that Amarji Diwan, even though he was fairly powerful and the rulers depended on him a lot, would have even dared to attempt to issue coins in his own name. But as the later coins also have the same legend Shri Diwan on them, it is amply certain that the legend Diwan stands for the title of the rulers of the state, just as the coins of Nawanagar carry the title of the rulers there, Jam. Porbandar Rana, Shri Rana in Porbandar, Shri Jam in Nawanagar. So, and even earlier coins of Kutch had Shri Jam on it, because at that time the rulers were known as Jam Sahibs. So this is a correction that needs to be incorporated, because this Diwan is not for Amarji Diwan, but as the title of the rulers. Again, here I found one reference to a half Kori. The Koris are known, but no Tramyas have come to light. Only a Dokda and a Dingla are known. Now, this is an extremely rare token. It is not a coin. It is a temple token issued by the son of Amarji, that is Raghunathji. He was the Diwan of the state who was made the Diwan after his father was assassinated. And Hatkeshwar on the coins basically is reference to their Ishta Devta or their community god. So Hatkeshwar Namai is basically the salutation to God, and Raghunath may possibly be his own name, or Raghunath could also be a salutation to God. Though here it is possible because these were issued by the Diwan personally, there is a possibility that these were Sri Raghunath Namai in his own name. The first coin that was found in the Junagadh Museum, and recently another one or two specimens have turned up, but these are extremely rare issues. And again, that would show that these were not circulating coins. These were just temple tokens. Now, the first copper coins are known also in the reign of Bahadur Khan II. These appear to be very crude. Again, as I said, with the legend Sri Diwan and in the name of Muhammad Akbar II. They carry a Hijri date and a Samvat date, the Vikram Samvat date, which is the local calendar, and the Hijri date. You can see the Hijri date on this coin. These coins have the legend of Muhammad Akbar written very crude, Bacha Ghazi a little better, and on the right, Junagadh with a Ba in center, which is for Babi. The exact legend will be better visible on the silver coin as we come by. Now, it appears that these coins, which were minted somewhere between 1820s and 1840s, that was the time when there was a mass production of kacha copper coins in Gujarat to meet the huge demand because of the cotton crop and the export of cotton crops. So if you look at the coins, these are coins from my own collection. They start at 1.67 grams. And it's not that these are the only weights known. There are weights in between these two also. I have 1.8 grams, 2 grams, 2.5 grams. Then you can see 3.5 here, 4, 5.5, 7. These grow up to a little over 8 grams. So I'm not sure whether these are fraction coins or these were basically mass-produced coins, because copper coins were exchanged by weight to the silver. These were kacha issues and which traded by weight with the silver quarries of the state. You can see the legend fairly clear on all the coins, which has the same legend. So these are the silver quarries of the ruler. And here you can see the legend very clear. If you see the left coin, Sri Diwan in Nagari, and then in Persian you have Sikka Muhammad Akbar, and then on top Badshah Ghazi. On the right image, you have a sword at the bottom, Jarab, Junagadh, and Babi in Nagari over that. Ba is for Babi, and then Sana 1236, and the Samvat date 1877 in Gujarati. So these coins have 3 different languages used on the same coin. You have Persian, and on the same side, on the reverse, you can see Persian, Jarab, Junagadh, Ba in Nagari for Babis, and the date in Gujarati 1877. Now this continued, and the standard catalog lists all subsequent coins in the name of Bahadur Khan, though these were later on issued in the reign of other rulers. So this coin from the date can be confirmed to be a coin of Hamid Khan II and not of Bahadur Khan. It's just the date that differentiates the coins. The legend remains the same. Sri Diwan, Sikka Muhammad Akbar, Badshah Ghazi, and on the reverse, Jarab, Junagadh, Ba for Babi, dates in Persian and Gujarati. Again, Muhammad Khan II, the same legends continue, the same style continues, and these coins can be attributed to this ruler only based on the date of issue. I have put this as type 1 because midway through this reign, I mean, these issues also, if you see the dates, they will correspond to dates which are far beyond the death of the Mughal ruler Muhammad Akbar and even Bahadur Shah Zafar in the end of the Mughal Empire. So after that, Mahabad Khan issued coins in his own name. So the legend changes. Very clearly you can see Sikka Mahabad Khan Nawab Bahadur. Shri Diwan, of course, remains the same. So it is Shri Diwan Sikka Mahabad Khan Nawab Bahadur. The reverse remains the same, and the coins again attributed basically by the date. Now, the minting of these coins ceases sometime during the same reign. Now, gold coins of the Junagadh rulers are very, very scarce, or I would say very, very rare. Looking at the history of why these coins were issued, I have been able to work out that these coins dated 1934 Samvat or 1294 Hijri. These were coins issued soon after the Delhi Darbar in January of 1877. Not maybe because of the Delhi Darbar, but it was at this Darbar that the ruler's personal salute was increased from up to 15 guns. So maybe to commemorate that event, because that was a big event. Basically, increasing his gun salute meant that he was elevated in his position as a ruler. So maybe to commemorate that, these coins were issued. It would have taken him time to get the permissions from the authorities to mint gold. And that is why these coins are dated a little beyond the time when his personal salute was increased. Of course, this is my reading of things. Now, the copper coins of Mahabad Khan, as we saw earlier, there are no other copper coins which have come to an end in the reign of the previous rulers. But strange two coins have been found, one dated 1931 Vikram Samvat and the other dated 1935. Now, both these coins have the date denominated by Sa. Normally, it was Samvat was Sun, S with a dot on top, Samvat. Whereas this could also be a coin which has Sal on it, because you see the difference in calligraphy. Even the calligraphy on the gold coin, as we saw, is not as good as we see on these coins. Now, if this date is Sal or AD 1935, these coins could be dated to the reign of Mahabad Khan III. But since there were no other coins of Mahabad Khan III that have been noted, these coins are attributed to Mahabad Khan II, and I carry on with this, though I will keep looking for possible reasons if these could have been issued during the later rulers' period. Coins of 1935 are fairly difficult to find. 1931 coins, I have just been able to find one image till now. Mahabad, then the next ruler is Bahadur Khan III. Now again in this ruler we find the issue only of gold coins. And if you look at the date correlation, these coins are issued 1903 and somewhat 1947. Now this is a period that is just after the ruler was awarded with the title GCIE, which was in 1890 May. And probably these were either commemorative issues or presentation issues to commemorate that event. Half Kori and Kori in gold are known in this date. Now, a very crudely engraved gold coin in the name of Rasul Khan. Probably these were minted in a hurry, and that is why the engraving in Persian is very crude. I'm not sure, but the dates correspond. It is just exactly a year not even a year, because somewhat date has changed. The Hijri date remains the same. As you see, this is 1309, 1947. This is 1309, 1948. Now, these coins pretty crudely engraved, could be at the time of his coronation, as I mentioned. Here, the name of the ruler, Muhammad Rasul bin Bahadur, clearly engraved. But we also have an edition, Shri Diwan, in both in Nagri as well as in Arabic or Persian. Another coin of this ruler in gold is dated 1318 and 1956. Now, this is the year when the ruler was made, given a higher this thing of KCSI. That was in December of 1898. And probably it took him some time to get permissions to get these gold coins issued as a presentation issue or a commemorative issue. Another presentation issue, I'm still trying to locate the reason for this issue, because the scarcity of these coins makes it clear that these are coins which are not minted in quantities, not meant for trade or circulation, but for very, very small and presentation reasons. Now here, a gold mohar is also known. This is a Kori image. There are also known gold mohar and a gold mohar with Shri Diwan also written in Nagri. So maybe there were 2 or 3 dies struck like we had in the earlier reign, a half Kori and a Kori. Here it is a Kori and a mohar, a Kori of around 4.5 grams and a mohar of 11 grams or 10.8 grams. We find the introduction of copper coins again, starting sometime in Samvat of 1963. The first coins without date. Then the coin with 63 with the date in Gujarati and Persian, one on the obverse, one on the reverse. Gradually going down, and these were minted for about 4 years. The last date known is Vikram Samvat 1967, which would be around 1910. Now, the British had stopped the issuing of coins, even copper or any coins by the princely states by order sometime in 1893. So it's surprising how the rulers of Junagadh were permitted to mint these coins. And these are coins found in real bulk quantity. So it's not that they were not minted in crates or they were presentation issues. These were maybe meant for circulation. Also, there are government records which clearly state that when these coins were discontinued, the silver coins and the copper coins, the treasury stopped accepting the copper coins, but these were allowed for circulation for market transactions, so as the local population doesn't end up in financial difficulties till the coins were changed with the British coins. So these were officially permitted by the British to be minted. But as I said, minted for only 4 years. Now, you can see from this, these are images of coins, all different, means some of this, there are minor variations either in date or in the coins themselves. I've been able to find around 35 varieties of these coins, and I believe there are still a few more lurking, both in my collection as well as in the market. I am trying to organize these. This is a picture given by a friend of mine who is also helping me work with these. The 2 Dokra coins were also minted during this reign. This is the only known instance where a double Dokra was minted. And we find it only minted in one date, and that is Vikram Samvat 1964. Mahmud Khan III, no coins of this ruler are known. As I said, the only probability is the better coins of 1935 if they were minted with the AD date, then they could be dated to this ruler. But as I said, officially the coins of the minting of coins was stopped. Even the silver quarries were not permitted. In fact, by 1909, the people of the state had started losing faith in the silver quarries of Junagadh, and the Diwan of Junagadh at that time was forced to issue clarifications in the local newspapers saying that these quarry coins of the state were still legal currency and could be used in the state. Soon thereafter, the British administrator, Mr. L. Robertson, discontinued the circulation of the quarry and offered an exchange of 405 quarries for 100 British rupees. But this was an offer valid for about a month or so, and from the 24th of December 1912, the quarry became just bullion. So they could be exchanged at the value of silver. As I said earlier, the copper coins were permitted to be circulated in the market at a fixed exchange rate to the British currency, but were not accepted in the state treasury. During the Second World War, of course, these are not coins, but there was a severe shortage of copper currency in the state. And just to mitigate the problems faced by the local population, cash coupons were printed and circulated. And these are all 1 anna and 2 paisa or such. 3 or 4 different types are known. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. And I believe that that is the cover of your book that you're showing, right?
Yes, it was the cover of the book that I had done a few years ago. It's on the coins of 4 small states, Lunawada, Chota Udaipur, Devgarh Baria, and Soon. States which had permission from the British to mint somewhere around 300 to 500 rupees equivalent in copper currency a year. So you can understand how difficult it would be to find these coins. If you have 70 or 80 paisa or copper coins to a rupee, and you have 400 rupees, that means the minting was around 8 to 10,000 coins a year.
Is the book sold out, or can it still be bought?
It can still be bought. I have a few copies with me.
Very good. We have got some chat messages. Pavitra is asking, what is the gar in the Nagari text next to ba?
No, that I also took it that it was Nagari Garda. But talking to Shailen Bhandare, he says, no, it is again Persian, and it is Garda in Persian. So, I mean, I'm not able to read Persian very well. I'm trying to stop sharing and I can't seem to find where.
The green area on the top of your screen.
It shows me resume share and new share, but I can't see. It says it's pause, stop share. Okay. Yeah, sorry.
There is also a question from Sandeep Sharma, who is asking, are there Jahangir coins issued from Junagadh?
I have not come across any coins. As I said, historical records show clearly that it was Shah Jahan who instructed the setting up of the Mughal mint at Junagadh. And that was in 1048.
And furthermore, we have lots of compliments for what you've done, and I would like to add mine. I have a question also, if you don't mind.
Sure.
You mentioned that the early coins were of a different standard. And I was wondering if there is a connection between having a different standards on the early coins and later on not using the rupee standard, but the Kauri standard. Is there such a connection?
I'm trying to work on that. Basically, what we find in Gujarat and what I'm trying to link up is that even the weights and the weights right down to the early 20th century, they varied from area to area in Gujarat. So they were all linked to a tola, which was 11.66 grams. But a share, which was a standard copper weight, was different number of tolas in different areas. Like Junagadh and other areas, the weight of a tola was 40 tolas to a share. If you came to Ahmedabad, it became 80 tolas. So the weight would be exactly double of one share weight, which was a standard a share, was 80 tolas in Ahmedabad, but was 40 tolas in Junagadh or the other areas of Saurashtra, Kathiawad as it is called. If you go to Baroda, again Baroda state, they say Baroda had 40 tolas to a share in the city, but surrounding areas of Baroda had 39 tolas to a share, and some areas had 42 tolas to a share. Even if you go to the weights of areas around Gujarat, outside of Gujarat, let's say Bhopal had, and these are proofs because they are printed on the weights. I have a collection of weights of this area where they write that the weight of this particular piece is one share equal to 40 tolas. Likewise, Tonk had weight of 96 tolas to a share, and Bhopal had 92 tolas to a share. And I believe, of course, there's no such research done as yet, but my belief is that the British were really confused with these different weight standards. And India has always been a place where such things existed, and people here were quite at ease with these different and differing standards from place to place. But the British could not fathom it, and that is why they finally forced the Indian states to stop minting coins of their own on different weights and introduce the British rupee, which is standard across the country.
We have a few more questions coming in, but I have a little follow-up question. Because the Ghori standard was adopted, may I assume that there was some kind of power play between Kutch and Junagadh, and maybe there was some influence coming from Kutch so that Junagadh would use the same standard?
I doubt it, because the fineness of silver of Kutch and Junagadh differ. The weight is almost the same. But as I believe, and Arthur has also been very strongly advocating this, that the Indian marketplace was very, very organized, and they could, through a touchstone, make sure of the purity of silver. And the silver coins were exchanged basically on the fineness of silver. So irrespective of whether it had more of alloy or less of alloy, they traded at different rates in the market also. So Kutch and Junagadh, the weight being the same, the fineness of silver varied.
Right. Pavitra also had a follow-up question on the copper coins. What is the meaning of Surat Sarkar?
Surat Sarkar. Surat is the name of Junagadh. Junagadh has been known as by various names. Surat is one of them. Junagadh, Girnar.
Okay. And Muhammad Islam is asking if there has been an analysis of the silver content in the coins. And there was
mentioned in the records that they had a particular fineness. I think it's around 60% or 65%. I have not got it noted here, but I'll give him the data in a day or so.
He's also asking if there was a bata system.
The barter system basically existed all over the country. So I wouldn't be surprised it was not there. It would be there.
Okay. Well, for the moment, we're out of questions. And if you still have questions, you can always reach Amit on World of Coins. He's there just about every day, I think. So once again, Amit, that was absolutely wonderful. Very much enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I would like to come back to my own presentation, if you don't mind, because I've overlooked two questions in my hurry to carry on. One is from Alex Cameron, who says, were the coffee machines in schools for staff or for the students? And the answer is that depended on the school. In my school, there was no coffee for the students, but the staff certainly had coffee. Our choice was limited to Fanta and Coca-Cola, which is not a good choice. Both are actually not good for students. The other question is actually something that I would have liked somebody to ask, but nobody thought of it, and I thought of it too late, which is why were all the Catholics in the South and the Protestants in the North? Well, remember that War of Independence. The Protestants were in the North because that's where they rebelled, and the Catholics never came back, were able to reestablish their religion. Whereas the South was, as far as the Republic was concerned, conquered territory. And in conquered territory, you had a situation where the Catholic religion had been reestablished and could be maintained. With that, I have one more thing to say, which is that this is my last performance as the program director of these sessions. My task will be taken over by Abhay. He will be presenting the next session. I would like to thank the people in the public, but I would also very much like to thank both the speakers in this session and the speakers in previous sessions who made my life really very easy. And I'm sure that Abhay will do absolutely wonderful as well. So please keep coming back. Give us your ideas. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And if you want to speak for yourself, no problem. We can organize it. That was it. Thank you very much.
One more thing I missed mentioning in the talk. Junagadh has seen issue again sporadically even during the time of the Nawabs. And that basically seems, I'm still working on it, but it seems that quite many of these Nawabs, when they came to the throne, were underage and they were under regents, either British or their mother. And it appears that there was no minting of coins during the period when the rulers were still not ruling on their own. So you find substantial number of years where there is no coin known.
Okay. Well, you can stick around and talk to everybody. Please unmute your mics if you do. Have a good time, and otherwise I'll see you next month.
Yo.
It was lovely, Amit. I had Joseph, how's life?
Pretty good, Peter, thanks. Amit, I have one question, if I can keep you for 5 more seconds. Go back to Pavitra's question about the guard next to the Ba. You did mention a ruler that had Begard or Bagard, which meant ruler of 2 forts. So why would the guard not mean fort?
Guard is fort.
It does mean fort.
It does.
You did mention something about Shalin Bhandari saying it was in Persian and something else.
No. What I mentioned was Shalin Bhandari. I had a difference of opinion. If you read that Gad, if you turn the coin 90 degrees, you will see it looks like a Nagari Gada.
Right.
But he argues that no, Gad in Persian is also written similarly. And he says that the whole legend Junagadh, because see, it would be really funny if part of the word was written in Nagari and part in Persian. Juna is definitely Persian. So Gad would make sense to be in Persian.
Oh, okay, I got you. So Persian and Nagari, both the Gad looks very similar in script.
Very similar, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
But did you mark that these coins are the only coins which have 3 different languages on the same coin, and they're barely about 12 millimeters or 15 millimeters in diameter.
Yes, a lot of information on one coin.
3 languages.
I see Abe who's turned up now. Has the move been successful?
Yeah, sure.
Very good. So you're all set to go, huh?
And from next session, yes.
We had 20 people attending during the main part of this event. And I think that many of them would be able to contribute again to the event. So it's not all that difficult, actually, and it's great fun to do.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay, with that, now the last one shuts the door behind him, and everybody else can talk as much as you want to. No problem. Very good to see you here.
It's been a pleasure.
All right, then I think I'll close the meeting then. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Bye, Abhay.
Bye.
Sharif, bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yep. Bye, sir.